dance as husband and wife.
I saw you standing there, sandy blonde hair, the way it came tumbling down, just like a waterfall. And if you need a light, I'll be the match to your candle, my darling. I'm ready to burst into flames for you. I was just coasting till we met. Remind me just how good it can get. Well, I've been on fire dreaming of you. Tell me you don't, it feels like you do. Looking like that, you'll open some room. How does it start and when does it end? Only been here for a moment, but I know but is it too soon?
Put your hands together for him. Let's hear it one time.
Hands together for the mother of the bride. Let's hear it for Leanne Van Dyke.
I am so fortunate and so grateful to have Rachel as my daughter and now Cory as my son-in-law. I can hardly believe it, really. One of the greatest joys of my life truly has been watching the love grow between Cory and Rachel. Many of you here in this room have watched their love story as well. You all know that they met at Columbia Business School and quickly became library study partners. And then they began to realize that their connection ran strong and deep. It was wonderful to see Rachel light up when she talked about Cory in those early days. It was delightful for me to visit them in New York City and then to do an adventure with them hiking in the Alps after their graduation. I saw the steady support and encouragement of Cory toward Rachel, of course, but also toward me. He actually plucked me out of a glacial mountain stream once when I slipped on a stone. The love and the laughter and the patience and the shared jokes and their generosity of their acceptance of one another, all of that I observed during that epic adventure. I also learned that Cory is a wicked good card player, and I definitely am not. And then, as you know, I welcomed them to my home for 16 months during COVID. I learned even more about them during that time. I saw them support and encourage each other in their demanding jobs. I saw them make tough decisions. I saw them live out their commitments, not only to each other, but also to the families they come from. I saw them working as a team when they brought home Hudson as a puppy. Through it all, their love was evident in small gestures and glances, in private jokes, in cooking together, in doing CrossFit workouts together, in exploring Atlanta breweries together, in lots of laughter, and in steady regard and respect for each other. It is clear to me that they, each day, say in a multitude of ways, I am for you. And so I celebrate Rachel and Cory. I love them both, and I'm so very impressed with them and proud of them. Rachel and Cory, may you be blessed with many years of joy and shared adventures. May you receive the good times with gratitude and the tough times with patience. May you share the wideness of your love with others. May you include your whole tribe in your lives so that we too may support and help you. May you be tender and resilient and thankful for this gift that you have been given of each other's love. Friends, I am so happy to give a toast to Rachel and Cory. Cheers.
I'm bringing up my wine because it's both safe and I need to be able to. So I may have forgotten my dress because I am the maid of honor, but unfortunately for all of you, I have not missed a moment to share some words because I love to talk. So marriage as an institution is under the spotlight these days, and probably for some good reason. And I think a little introspection is not the worst thing. I did a little introspection myself a few years ago on the topic, and I now live on the other side of the planet. Married to the cutest, most outrageous Frenchman that I'm sure many of you have already seen with a drink in his hand and many passionate words about whatever topic you may throw out. But anyway, back to marriage under the spotlight. When you see a couple like Rachel and Cory, it's easy to understand why people are so desperate for a type of love that compels them to the commitment of marriage. The type of love we're all here to celebrate today. A love that exhibits respect, courage, kindness, and commitment. One of the best things about that type of love, and that these two have, is that it isn't so much found as it is built. Invested in, cultivated, cared for, and I feel so lucky to be a part of the web of love that supports it. That web started off something like this. First with David. He's my boo, my travel co-pilot, college roommate, and the cousin of Rachel. And he brought me so fully into the Van Dyke family that Suzanne actually knitted me a stocking with a martini glass on it, which is the greatest honor of my life. And in 2014, he thought that I should meet his cousin who recently moved to the city, Rachel, specifically at a lesbian bar in the West Village called the Cubbyhole. I did not know the Cubbyhole was getting into that. So Rachel, that first meeting at the Cubbyhole included not only eye candy and free pizza, which I'm not sure if you remember the free pizza, but I definitely did. But it was also an instant connection. This woman was special, vulnerable, ambitious, and ready to build a life in New York. And as for Cory, a few years later, Rachel, David, and myself were at another gay bar in New York. And we were talking about this dream boat of a man that she had met on a business school trip to Mexico. My initial response was, we've all fallen in love with someone on a Mexican beach. So are you sure that this is real? But I hadn't met him yet, so I didn't know. So I quickly changed my mind. But to focus on Rachel for a moment, when you think about why you're close with someone, it's hard to pinpoint specifics sometimes. True love and true connection is fusion. Two independent objects coming together and forming a bond that's so powerful, sometimes it creates something that's completely new. I've had this with Rachel, and I've been lucky enough to watch a romantic fusion between her and Cory. And let me tell you about a few moments that have fused Rachel and I together. There was Hell's Kitchen, where we were taking Jell-O shots with an unnamed member of this audience from Drag Queen. Uncommon Schools, I worked there and realized that Rachel was literally living in poverty, so I needed to get her a job. Brooklyn, you moved to Brooklyn, boo, and so I did. Then an MBA, you got an MBA, so then I went to an MBA, but it is not ranked as highly as CBS. Colorado, North Carolina, and Michigan. Is there anything that brings together more people than the sisterhood of Suzanne and Leanne? Packing, you came over and literally helped me pack my life to move to Paris. The defeat of Hillary Clinton, we were together when the world seemingly collapsed in 2016, which was not fun. There was a lot of full champagne bottles. The Peninsula Hotel in Chicago, where we had so many drinks that they had to delay the birth of Jesus the next day. You've taken your life into your hands, getting into the back of Jeremy's little red car in Paris while he drives around screaming, cursing in French with a cigarette out the window. My clandestine visit to Atlanta to see you two. I mean, that didn't happen. During COVID, sorry. And then lastly, in Colombia recently, where she was off the side of the boat drinking a Coco Loco and was like, we should do this again. And I was like, come to Colombia? And she was like, no, just go on a private boat again on the same trip tomorrow. So anyway, all of these moments are what makes friendship and life so full, and it's also what teaches you about who your friend really is. And let me tell you about what I found out about who Rachel really is. She's invested, she's generous, she's smart. She's that gorgeous mix of heart and head that we all want to be. She's the daughter, she's the cousin, she's the sister. She's the friend and she's the partner that we all hope for. And as for the partner piece of that, let me talk about Rachel and Cory here at the end. And let me get back to that question of whether marriage is really all worth it. I want to read a quote from Supreme Court Justice Roberts when marriage equality became reality. And he said, "No union is more profound than marriage, for it embodies the highest ideals of love, fidelity, devotion, sacrifice, and family. In forming a marital union, two people become something greater than they once were. Marriage embodies a love that may endure even past death." That's the fusion that I was talking about earlier. And it's rare to see a fusion as powerful and genuine as the fusion between Cory and Rachel. Cory is the rock and the foundation that Rachel deserves, along with the explorer and the enthusiast that Rachel wants. More than anything, he is the partner, husband, and best friend that Rachel has chosen. I love him for who he was before Rachel, who he is now with Rachel, and who he will be as they continue to build their story together. When it comes to Rachel, there's no one who I could feel prouder or more grateful for than Cory. So, a quick toast to my sweet booze. May your life be full of love. May your relationship continue to evolve in ways that bring out the best of your individual spirits at every life stage. And may you continue to fuse yourselves to one another and to all of the people here that love you so deeply.
Let's hear it for Dave.
When they brought this spotlight out, I was really hoping I wasn't going to have to stand under it. But here we are. My name is Chris Hoffman. I'm Cory's best man from St. Louis, Missouri. And for the benefit of the folks I've met this weekend from the coast, to include New York, California, St. Louis is in this suburb of Chicago called Missouri. It's a great place, you know, with pizza, toasted ravioli. You should check it out. Yes. I'm excited to be here tonight. Celebrating this special day together with all of you, and particularly thankful to Mrs. Van Dyke and to the Prots for making this happen. And Nancy and Terry, you should be incredibly proud of you. Spending these last few days together with Cory and Rachel's closest friends and family from across the country has given me a renewed appreciation for the old saying, you are an average of the people that you surround yourself with. It's clear to me that Cory and Rachel continue to surround themselves with incredible people, to include the many people I've met this weekend. Regardless of where each of us met Cory along his journey, whether growing up in Kirkwood, during undergraduate studies at SLU, in business school and beyond business school, Cory, there are many constants that you've carried with you, both when it comes to maintaining old friendships and developing new friendships. And I wanted to share a few of those constants with this group because I think they'll resonate and be meaningful for everybody here. First, Cory, when it comes to friendships, I know that you value depth over breadth. Cory seeks meaningful friendships where both sides invest heavily in a relationship, and he's not interested in maintaining many shallow relationships. His candor, sincerity, genuine interest in the lives of others has permeated all of your friendships and relationships. And it's the reason I count you among my closest of friends and have for so many years. The second constant that I wanted to share with the group is that it doesn't matter the amount of time or physical distance that separates you with Cory. When reconnected, Cory makes you feel as though his investment in you and your relationship is as strong as it's ever been. For me personally, this has manifested itself several times over the last 20 years, most notably when I transferred back from SLU after a couple years in Texas during undergrad, or when I left the Marine Corps in 2014 and was able to reconnect with Cory more regularly and more frequently. Time and distance has had no effect on the strength of our relationship. And thankfully, this also extends to the time and distance between when I reply to text messages. He extends quite a bit of grace in that regard. Rachel, you look absolutely beautiful today. I want to thank you for how happy that you make my friend Cory. It has been fun for me to see and to hear about the relationship that you two have built. You're both adventurous, kind, and unwilling to settle when you think about building your lives together and what it is that you both want to get out of this life. And I'm hoping that you can help me pull Teresa along on one of your next adventures abroad. For Teresa's sake, I would ask that we start somewhere where they have a 4 seasons and running water. And then camping can be maybe number 2 or 3 that journey. To the both of you, congratulations. I'm thankful to be included in a special day, and both Teresa and I look forward to joining you on life's adventures in the years to come. Please join me in raising a glass.
Those are 3 really hard speeches to follow, so don't want to try to do anything like that. But I just want to say thank you to everyone for being here. We all love you so much. This is one of those special moments in our life where all of our friends and family can come together and see everyone that means so much to us. So thank you for being here, and we love you all so much.
But most importantly, thank you so much to our parents for making this evening possible. Leanne, Nancy, and Terry. Literally, we could not be doing this without you, and we love you very much, so thank you.